It's a ghetto people song, only them can sing this world. It's a song for the poor who's facing sufferation. It's a ghetto people song, only them can sing this world. It's a song for the poor who's facing sufferation. Young Police Channel from Jamaica, big up Rastafari. Everton Blender said that.
Yeah, so right now you're looking at a man, his name is Javan Pinnock. The man, Javan Pinnock, and he's wanted in New York for the murder of Javan Jamison. The man, and we want this man off the street, we want him out like now. Javan Pinnock is wanted by, yes, he's wanted by the NYPD for the murder. Yeah man, he's wanted for the murder of Javan Jamison, aka Blingers. I want this man off the street like now. Yeah man, we want him off. Along with an accomplice gunned down Jamison outside the Pure Lounge nightclub in Queens, New York on April 8, 2023. Jamison, a 23-year-old from North Lauderdale, Florida, was shot multiple times and succumbed to his injuries at Jamaica Hospital. And Jamaica Hospital is not in a Jamaica, it's in New York, so them kill him in America. So Pinnock is currently on the run and is believed to be hiding in Jamaica. His accomplice, Christopher King, has already been arrested and charged with murder. It's the second time him a charged with murder, and King, in New York, So Pinnock is described as black, look like frog. 5 feet, 10 inches, and 220 pounds, with a scar on his left cheek, or you can say face. So if you have any information on Pinnock whereabouts, please contact 119 Jamaica and let the police know that this carousel is wanted by the police in New York, and they would issue the warrant to extradite him. There's an extradition warrant out for this man. But please, we're begging you, we're beseeching you, use the conscience, please, for once. Don't follow the criminal-minded Jamaicans, man, protect criminals, because look, the same boy that you're protecting today, tomorrow he might turn on you. Alright, so moving on to today's video. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To all loyal viewers and subscribers. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizens, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion, because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let's repeat myself. We are the Jamaica Young Police Channel. We do not want the criminal supporters on their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madness. Moving on to our video. Yes, do you love corruption? Yeah, I'm talking to you, whether you're Jamaican, American, English, Canadian, Australian, African, it doesn't matter. Do you love corruption? Well, if you love corruption, you're at the wrong channel. Because at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we do not love or like, I want anything to do with corruption. Because corruption destroys people's lives and it destroys society. So right now you're looking at a young man. His name is Lawrence Rowe. Yes, and Lawrence Rowe is the last PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization politician with moral standards. Jamaica has lost a good man to corruption. Yes, so you're going to hear some recordings of this man exposing corruption within the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, exposing the mayor and others of Kingston, showing that the people siphon money from the taxpayers to murderers. You're going to hear about a man named Bull, a killer, a man who's a known killer. in Central Kingston Police area, or Kingston Central Police area. Bull, yeah, a killer. I hear the mayor talking about sending money to Bull and all kind of things. So when they were saying that this man is a liar, this man have all the receipts approved. Yes, for all of the members of the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, this is the only man I have any faith in and anything that he has says. The reason why I'm saying that because he has delivered, exposed corruption within the criminal organization. All of these things that I have been telling you people that the PMP is a criminal organization. Something, yeah, labor right. I have never seen as I said before and I'll say again, it's one Prime Minister in Jamaica I have any respect for when I was there. Growing up is Edward Siaga. And I say that and I say it without any apologies. So whether or not you want to believe it, Lawrence Rowe is a true patriot. A true patriot who exposed the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. Jamaicans, the time for ignorance is over. The lies, the corruption, the bloodshed, it has all been laid bare for the world to see, thanks to the courageous efforts of Lawrence Rowe. Unlike the cowards who continue to shield criminals, unlike the hypocrites who speak justice but embrace lawlessness, who has done the unthinkable. He has exposed the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization with direct, undeniable evidence and recordings. You're going to hear it for yourself. For years, many of us have spoken out about the PMP deep-rooted ties to crime and corruption. We have seen how they have nurtured, protected and empowered criminals, using them as foot soldiers to intimidate communities and keep Jamaica under their grip. But now, for the first time, we have solid proof, evidence that cannot be denied, silenced or ignored. Lawrence Rowe stood up for truth and they betrayed him. Rowe was not just another politician. He was not one of the cowards who turned a blind eye to the gangsters, murderers and corrupt enablers that run the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization behind the scene. Yes, he was the last PMP politician with moral standards. The last one who believed that politics should be about serving the people, not serving criminals. But you're not going to hear them big him up and say, oh, at them man I wanted at the party. No, he might go against the grill of what them all about. Yeah, criminality and bigging up gangsters like Tesha Miller. A man who received 120,000 42 million and 120,000 Jamaican dollars this man received whilst in a prison yearly under the control of the PMP LGBTQ plus municipality in St. Catherine, Spanish Town, the headquarters. Man, I get money for in a prison for be a killer. This man is the last PMP politician with moral standards. I have to give him props to that. And he believes politics supposed to be about serving people, not serving criminal masters. But that they turned on him. He stood up for the law and order. They pushed him out. He spoke against corruption. They tried to shut him down. He exposed their dirty secrets. They betrayed him and called him a liar, in which he is the one that proved that they are the liars. But Jamaican people and all, guess how them a cuss? Lawrence Rowe, him chat too much, cause them love corruption, dirty bungo, dirty people, nasty niggas them. I would say that with no apologies. Oh, we are get better. Oh, you are talking about, well, look in America, them have a convicted felon who was the president. We are not white people. The people them will put that man there and them thing there. They are the ones that are feeling it now. The same government are intimidate everybody, but it's who's gonna buckle. Black people used to terrorism. White people used to being the terrorists. They're not used to being terrorized, but now they are being terrorized by their own government that them voted for. So that is their thing. So we have to stay with black people and stay where they come from. Instead of supporting him, the PMP cast him aside because they do not want decent men in their ranks. They only want those who follow orders, cover up crimes, and do bidding of criminals and underworld funds. Yes, that's what they want. Those who follow orders, and cover up crimes. And Lawrence Rowe is not into that. Lawrence Rowe is all about decency, ethics, and transparency. So the evidence against the PNP cannot be denied. The recordings that Rowe has provided are damning. They prove that the PNP is not a political party. It is a criminal network designed to protect murderers and gang leaders. The PNP funds killers using violence to maintain influence and control communities through fear. The PNP cares nothing for law-abiding citizens. It only supports the criminals who keep it in power. The PNP actively works against Jamaica's justice system, sabotaging the effort to strengthen law enforcement. No longer can their defenders claim that these are just conspiracy theories. The proof is here. The proof is here. The proof is there. The evidence is undeniable. You're going to hear it for yourself. Swaby and the others, PNP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization talking. Jamaica has lost a good man to corruption, Lawrence Rowe. With his departure, Jamaica has lost the last PNP politician with integrity, honesty and decency. He was a man who tried to change the party from within to make it stand for something other than crime and destruction. But the PNP's LGBTQ plus criminal organization system is rotten to the core. So rotten that even good men like Rowe was driven out when he refused to compromise his values. So let this be a wake-up call for every Jamaican who still clings to false hope that the PNP can be reformed. It cannot. That's why I tell you, say, at no time, you will never hear we. I tell you, say, the PNP is a good, that's why we tell you, it's a criminal organization. We born a grow in a belly of beast, you know, so no guy can't tell you nothing. We see everything. You understand? If Rowe, a man of integrity, cannot survive among them, then no decent person will ever will. The party has been completely hijacked by criminals, and it will never return to anything remotely honorable. We see it for ourselves. When I was a police officer, the PNP, LGBTQ plus criminal, them defund the police force, defund it, empower the criminal, and that's how the murder rate does a spike. We have to take a taxi go to a murder scene. They're not telling you that. We have to take taxi go to a murder scene, spend money out of our own pocket and we not get reimbursement. If you deal with the people's them business and we not get no reimbursement, then entire boy we couldn't take it. We start to ride in bicycle. We not get nothing for that. See it now island wide because it work. You understand? Jamaicans, we must act. And we must act now. We cannot sit idle by while the PNP continue to drag our nation into the abyss. They must have to turn Jamaica into 80. You understand? That's how these people are. We must expose them at every turn. We must ensure that Rowe's bravery was not in vain. Spread the recordings far and wide. Let every Jamaican hear the truth from Rowe himself. Reject the PNP politicians at every level. Do not allow them to hold power over your communities. Support leaders who stand for law and order. Do not vote for anyone who tolerates criminality. Stand against PNP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization violence. Do not allow them to use fear to control you. Lawrence Rowe sacrificed everything to bring us the truth. He stood alone against the organization of criminals and cowards. We salute him for his commitment. His legacy must not be forgotten. Let his story fuel our light against corruption and criminal governance. Jamaica must wake up. The PNP is the enemy of the people. Lawrence Rowe, we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel and all decent Jamaicans, we salute you. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to talk with you too, if you don't mind, if you want to. As we say over here at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we can have conversation with anyone. So today, we're going to make you listen to Cliff Hughes and people at and his other sidekick at Nationwide. And you're going to hear some damning information that Lawrence Rowe was able to bring to the public for never before. I would thank Lawrence Rowe for expose the criminals for who they are. So you watch, you listen, and you decide.
Has passed the bill. The opposition walked out once it came to the second reading.
Yeah. So that is going to happen.
It appears so.
Yeah. All right. So We're going to turn now to more developments in the KSA-MC PNP corruption scandal, which is deepening today. Another damning voice note has been leaked. The Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, today said the funds distributed to PNP political representatives last December were privately raised.
He says the funds were not from the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, that's the KSAMC, or any other public source. He told the corporation's monthly general meeting this morning that the funds were raised privately through PNP-led initiatives and efforts. He did not disclose this in his first media statement. You'll recall, listeners, he issued that first statement on January 31 this year. Khaleesi Wright was at today's KSAMC general meeting.
Kingston's Mayor Andrew Swaby and the PNP have been under pressure since news of the alleged misuse of funds was first made public by Nationwide News on January 29. The allegations are based on WhatsApp messages and voice notes between then PNP caretaker for Central Kingston Lawrence Rowe and the party's General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell. The conversations included Rowe complaining to Dr. Campbell that he had received only $300,000 while other PNP representatives had received more. Mayor Swaby responded to the allegations in a statement on January 31. He stated then that municipalities do not disperse cash. He also stated that the KSA-MC did not authorize or facilitate cash disbursements to any individual. Mayor Swaby also asserted that if any such transaction took place, it was not sanctioned by the corporation and did not involve public funds. At the corporation's monthly meeting today, Mayor Swaby again denied the allegations that the KSA-MC used public funds to support the PNP in election campaign activities. According to him, any money handed to Lawrence Rowe was privately raised.
I wish to clarify that any money Mr. Rowe received from a member of my administrative staff were not public funds from the KSA-MC or any other public source. Those funds were privately raised through party-led initiatives and efforts. This is not an unusual occurrence, as is a norm for individuals and organizations to contribute to political parties during the crisis. No funds from the KSA-MC were used to bolster the political support of any candidate in individual or constituency. For the record, the KSA-MC does not disburse cash to individuals, and any suggestion to the contrary is categorically false.
Mayor Swaby says Mr. Rowe was wrong in assuming the $300,000 he was told to come collect was for political purposes.
Based on the contents of the message, I can only assume that the money referred to is the $2.7 million allocated to each of the respective divisions. These will include a portion from the KSA-MC Divisional Allocation Fund, as well as one allocated by the ministry. Clearly, Mr. Rowe wrongfully assumed that the money being considered being spent in these divisions were for political gain. Those funds were a legitimate allocation from the KSA-MC and the ministry, designated for community initiatives in the absence of an elected councillor.
Khaleesi Wright for Nationwide News.
Just pause for a moment. We're going to take a quick break. But before you take it, Bugs, the mayor said these were for community projects. Well, I would imagine the mayor should now back that up and tell us which communities benefited,
What projects were funded?
what projects were funded, yes, and the accounting for that.
Yes.
Because since they were all legit KSA-MC projects funded, yeah, where is the evidence that these projects were actually done and people paid? Yeah. Time for the break. Today, with the mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew, he's been at the center of this over accusations that funds from the council somehow were channeled to PNP representatives in the Christmas season last December for political gain, for political work. The mayor says no, that is not so. In fact, when he spoke today, he said, listen, these were private funds raised by the People's National Party.
And In the ordinary cut and thrust of politics, I suppose that would be fine. But here's my challenge. Why was this, let me first ask, was this money distributed on the compound of the KSAMC? That's first. 2, if it was, why? 3, if the money was raised for and on behalf of the People's National Party, was this ever made known to Party Central? Exactly is the mayor's role as a, I'm not talking as a public servant now, but as a PMP operative, yes? What exactly is his function role in relation to, he talks about the constituency at large. Yeah, I think he said grid up. Yeah, germinating gel together, I think was the phrasing.
Yes.
What was his specific role? Did he have a party function in relation to Central Kingston such that he would be in contact with the caretaker, or his functionaries would be in contact with the caretaker to come to the KSAMC to collect money? Final question. If it is that this was private money raised, which again, as I said, would be fine in the cut and thrust of politics, why was it not for public knowledge? I keep going back to that final message, yes, that was sent to Mr. Rowe. Note, this is not, the knot was in caps, if I recall correctly.
This is not for public knowledge.
Why would this be hidden? Why would it be a secret?
Yes.
Parties raise money, if the mayor is indeed
carry on their
activities. Yes, there would be nothing untoward about that. That's not something you should hide from the public.
Well, this issue, those questions become even more pertinent because tonight we have another leaked voice note from last December in which Mayor Swaby this time is heard telling an unidentified man about how he, Mayor Swaby, had spoken to several individuals, helping some others in his bid to ensure that Central Kingston is won by the PNP's candidate come election day. George Davis has more in this report.
Audio to News Center, Swaby uses the word he has taken deliberate action. Our sources say the audio was recorded on December 31, 2024. Here is what the mayor and the chairman of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Andrew Swaby, saying his effort upon certain affiliates Mayor Swaby speaks about deliberate action.
I tried in my way to help to gel the thing together. We talk to Charmian, sister, we talk to other people in that constituency. I want even tell you, say, if I may go have this with the sports team, I keep on Angela over 3 days in a way. And me and Bull and them and I talk. And in my little way, I try and help them. That we can say, boy, if when the time come, me can't, if they don't need for me talk to them, I can't talk. Even Christmas, we help them, you know. Even Christmas, we send something to go give them. I mean, do it deliberately so, and I go through the car and say, me want in a position for them, say, boy, they put me border, and we can't talk to them.
So who is this Bull, Mayor Swaby? Is he the reputed Don from Top Road in Central Kingston? Mayor Swaby goes on to explain to the man he's speaking with that the reason he has taken deliberate action to help certain people in Central Kingston is because he has seen those people act in a certain way when other men gave them money. He then says that both he and Audrey took a deliberate look at how best to help certain individuals in Central Kingston.
Me know the role within the play when other man come on and get them. That's why me that try say, when we talk to them to make sure say, we will really think of them, they can't say, PNP not paying in our mind.
Yeah.
So, and everything me do, not a man can say, me talk, me do, me help, in the Christmas, me go far and wide. That's why me come here, all the sit down and we look for it like I say, ABC, we know, we target Central Kingston to win. We know that. And when I look for who I run, I look for and say, he want PNP win. And my backside of the door when we have an MP and a Central Kingston. The bar that them come closer to me. They have more than one interest when you want Central Kingston.
Mayor Swaby did not identify the Audrey he referred to in the clip. Who is this Audrey, Mayor? And what role does she play in helping you decide how to allocate resources that come through the KSAMC? Based on how he mentioned her, it would appear as if that Audrey is known to both himself and the man with whom he was having that conversation on December 31 last year. Nationwide News reported earlier that among the allegations made by former PNP caretaker in central Kingston, Lawrence Rowe, is that a member of Mayor Swaby's administrative staff told him to collect $300,000 cash from the KCMC. Rowe was told that he was at liberty to spend the cash as he saw fit, but that this gift to him was not for public knowledge. The name of that staff member at the KCMC who communicated that message to Lawrence Rowe on December 17, 2024, Audrey Smith-Facey. George Davis for Nationwide News.
So, Ricardo, listeners, now we hear from the mayor, the chairman of the municipal corporation himself, in his own words, saying that he tries to cover not only his backside, but to pursue the political agenda of the PNP to win.
Yes.
By directing, whether those were raised privately or from the coffers of the KSAC, the resources to the PNP, key people, Bull among them. Bull.
Yes.
Bull among them to make sure that they win. And that is the story. That has been the central story of this entire thing since it broke.
Permit me to add one more question, since I was in the business of posing questions. Why didn't the explanation that this money was privately raised come in the first
Statement on January 31.
Yes. That is also a question I think the mayor must answer. Why? Why did you allow so much time to pass before you added that context as you have this morning?
And that voice note in which you can hear the mayor, setting out his case, to helping his comrades, is damning. But in the interest of time, we had to edit. So we are going to play for you now part of the extended portion of that voice note.
I mean, I look at it, but I look at it without any form of bias or anything, because but the only concern I had where you are concerned is the whole issue that the thing does not never gel back together. That's the only concern I had. And that's what it is. But me know the role within the play when other man come on and get them. That's why me that try to say, talk to them to make sure, say, we will really think up, then they can't say, pain in our mind. You understand me? Everything me do, a man can say, me talk, me do, me help in the Christmas, me go far and wide. You understand me? Because me and others sit down and we look for it like I'm saying, it's the ABC, because we know, we target Central Kingston to win. We know that. I mean, I look for the whole run, me I look for and say, we want PNP win, and my tell us door when we have an MP and a Central Kingston, the border, them come closer to me. So we have more than one interest why you want Central Kingston. Me and Audrey, what the plan to sit down and talk to her about that. I tell Audrey what you say, come tell me. I think you tell Audrey too. I will discuss it. But you don't know now the heat of Christmas and everything. I never take it out of that time. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I say, boy, because some of the coasters don't look for the bigger picture. Me not like you to be my MP now. Me not like you.
Who is he speaking with? Take one guess. We know, but we're not saying it. Yeah? But Audrey, Audrey, sit down. Is this Audrey Smith-Facey from his administrative staff at the KSAMC? The same Audrey who is captured also,
indicating that the money, the knowledge of the money and the disbursement was not for public knowledge.
Exactly.
And why? Why was it not for public knowledge? If indeed, as the mayor says, this was privately raised funding for political work on behalf of the party, why would it not be then for public knowledge?
Well, in another development this afternoon, Lawrence Rowe, the discarded candidate for Central Kingston, posted shortly after 4 on his Facebook page.
Where is Lawrence?
I don't know.
Okay.
He posted what he calls an open letter to Mayor Swaby. Yes? And he says, "Dear Mayor Swaby, I acknowledge your recent statement regarding the allegations of misuse of public funds by the KSAMC and note that my name has been referenced."
He says, "I find that your suggestion that the KSAMC under your leadership has not been distributing public funds to PNP political representatives lacks credibility."
Given the gravity of this matter, says Rowe, and its public interest, I must state that at no time was I aware of the funds received by PNP political representatives during December last year were party resources.
Lawrence Rowe says, in fact, any resources PNP representatives have received from Party Central are collected at the party's headquarters. The funds over the Christmas season by PNP political representatives were collected on the compound of the KSAMC.
Rowe continues, "I am therefore requesting your response to the following questions. 1. Allocation and use of funds. Can you provide documented evidence of the approval and disbursement of the $2.7 million allocated to each division?
Were formal records or council minutes kept detailing how these funds were distributed and spent?
Why were portions of these funds redirected instead of being fully allocated to the MPs and managed by the KSAMC's Chief Engineering Officer?
What criteria determined the reallocation of funds to you versus the MPs?
What oversight measures, asks Rowe, ensured these funds were strictly used for community projects?
Rowe then asks, did the KSAMC's Chief Engineering Officer personally approve all expenditures, and can those records be made available?
These are some searching questions. He continues. 2. The role of the PNP General Secretary. Given the General Secretary's role as CEO of the PNP, should he not have been aware of any party-related financial activities?
Lawrence Rowe asks, did you communicate with him regarding these funds? If so, in what capacity?
Were the privately raised funds documented in the party's financial records?
How do you respond to the assertion that the General Secretary was competent to speak on these expenditures?
Transparency in political considerations. Number 3. Why was there no publicly announced mechanism for disbursing funds in divisions without councillors?
If, Rowe says or asks, if transparency is a priority, why were these allocations not disclosed earlier?
He continues, were political considerations involved in selecting projects given that community leaders played a role?
Community leaders. That's a euphemism.
For?
He says, you stated that the KSAMC does not disperse cash to individuals. Does this mean all funds were allocated strictly to projects?
He continues, in what manner did I receive the resources, and who else in Central Kingston received the funds?
Number 4, alleged WhatsApp messages. Lawrence Rowe asks, did you acknowledge that my conversation with the PNP General Secretary accurately reflects my concerns?
Have you investigated whether KSAMC officials engaged in discussions about political favoritism in fund disbursement?
If you were unaware of the WhatsApp exchange at the time, have you since verified its contents?
He continues. 5. On the Denhamtown and Olympic Gardens allocations, why was the full $2.7 million handed to the MP for Denhamtown, but not to the MPs for Olympic Gardens and Chancery Hall?
Can you provide a full list of projects executed with the reallocated funds in each divisions? Number 6, private funds and party contributions. You stated that any funds I received were privately raised, Lawrence Rowe says. Can you provide records or donor documentation to verify this?
How were these privately raised funds accounted for in the PNP's financial records?
Finally, he asks, were there other caretakers receiving funds in the same manner as I did.
I look forward to your prompt response. Best regards, Lawrence Rowe.
He offers his best regards to the mayor of Kingston.
Wow.
Is Lawrence a lawyer?
Not as far as I'm aware.
This is well written. Yeah.
Very pointed.
Yes, probing,
very
searching.
relevant. Yes, questions. Well, it's after 7. That's the very latest. Yeah, this story is not going away. Although Old Hope Road will love for it to go away. It's not going away. It's not. Yeah, and you notice the drip, drip, drip. And Mayor Swaby has even more questions this evening to answer than what was facing him this morning at the start of the meeting, the monthly general meeting of the KSAMC.
Yeah.
His position is looking increasingly tenuous.
Foremost in my mind, why was the knowledge of these disbursements not fit for public
Consumption.
knowledge? Yeah. After the break, Nature's Remedy.
Yeah, so those who have ears, let them hear. So you hear that for yourself, you know. Lawrence, were exposing the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization and their corrupt practices. Jamaica must wake up. The PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization is about power, not governance. For far too long, the Jamaican people have been deceived by the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, which has transformed itself into a full-fledged criminal organization that has no interest in the welfare of the nation or its people. Instead of focusing on governance and national development and creating opportunities for law-abiding Jamaicans, this group has dedicated itself to criminality, to maintain power at all costs, using criminals, murderers and enforcers to terrorize the people into submission. That's what they're all about. They don't care about the poor. They don't care about the people that they claim they love. As my mother always say, anybody who tell you say them love you because you're poor, stay far from them. And that's how them always tell you. Them tell you say them love the poor. This is not speculation. This is not political rhetoric. This is reality. And the truth is now being exposed by a brave young man named Lawrence Rowe, a former PMP caretaker for Central Kingston. For the first time since the late Edda Robinson, a former PMP member of the criminal organization who dared to speak the truth about the party's criminal ties. Now we have a patriotic Jamaican who's pulling back the curtains on the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, what they really represent: criminality. The PMP has never been about the people, only about power. The PMP thrive on a foundation of corruption, criminality and control. It does not serve decent, honest, law-abiding citizens. No, it don't care, represent that section of Jamaicans, murderers. It serves criminal honorers like Bull, killer from Central Kingston. Police must take care of him because you know say my criminal, you hear them say. And you know all these people is terrorize people into submission what them want. The party has bred criminals like chinks, bedbugs, infested every corner of the country with their lawlessness and destruction. So let's examine how they operate. 1. Murder for power. The PMP does not rely on policies or governance to win elections. It depends on violence, fear and intimidation. It funds murderers who kill on behalf of the party, like Tesha Miller, who are collect $42,120,000 a year while he's in a prison. So at any time now, you know, say I win him appeal because the PMP judge, man, let him out. Yeah, man, and you see one of them the other day will respond to us because them collect them $500,000 in a cash in a Vibes Cartel case. You understand? So it funds murderers to kill on behalf of the party, to silence opponent and create chaos, ensuring they remain in power through bloodshed. Because people afraid for dead, so nobody now got talk. Even police have to run from Jamaica. As you talk to a police all the time, one of the police will give evidence in a case of Renita Adams when them killed the 4 old people in a Clarendon. So the glorification of criminals, instead of standing for law and order, the PMP has continuously embraced, defended and empowered criminals, making them heroes in the eyes of some misguided individual instead of fostering economic independence and social progress. They encourage crime, shield gangster and destroy communities. 3. Systemic weakening of law enforcement. Every attempt to clean up Jamaica's justice system have been sabotaged by the PMP. Remember, we have radication, that's a special operation at 230 Spanish Town Road. When we had special operation, we crime were under 400. When the PMP took over government, under 400, it skyrocketed in 1 year to 1,000 because the criminals, them know that the elected criminals are in charge now, so they can commit crime at will. Them start killing even witnessing a murder case. Well, never used to happen. And one of them daddy, one of them big broad-faced daddy, Rear Admiral, a guy named Bert Samuels. You know, him one of them who helped fuel the killing of witnesses. Cause them bright, and them, you understand. Them bright, but them use them intelligence, not for the betterment of the people, but for the destruction of the people. Cause poor people, them say one are killing, and no rich people, them now uptown them go. No one then them will kill a rich person. That are people them from 12 tribe. You understand? So their strategy is to make their strategy is clear. Make criminals feel protected, secure, and ensure that law-abiding citizens live in fear. That is how them do it. Them give away Klansman gang in the 1990s. That same Tesha Miller way. That prison don't want to collect money. And that's because of the robust work of the police officers them. Why? He's in prison. Mark Golding say man make sure him free him if he become Prime Minister. If Jamaica make that big mistake, you see what is happening in America. When you have a foreigner, somebody who's not from your country, have influence over your government. Because if you're corrupt, nobody can. If you are not corrupted, nobody can corrupt you. So America is a cesspool of corruption, the capital for corruption right now in the world. When it come on to, but hey, whether or not any way you take it, Maka always joke people because it's a corrupt system. I just saw it go. But we don't want we to catch them cold. We don't want it. We want to live as decent people. They demonize the police. The PMP did that. Yours truly experienced that. 1992 I was transferred from Clarendon to St. Elizabeth. Not because I have done anything wrong, but because I was doing my job. And I refused to cower to the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization and turn a blind eye while their people commit crime in my police era. I was executing warrants on people who were wanted for crime, rape, carnal abuse, housebreaking, burglary. And they were in full sight, field view of the police. They weren't hiding. But because these people were connected politically, nothing happened. And I was executing these warrants on these people. At the time when these warrants were issued, I was in high school. I was seen then to them as an enemy of the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization government. I was transferred by Michael Manley and his cronies. Because them control the old dirty corrosion man named Roy Thompson. I hope him make them a joke him down at LCM here. So their job is to make criminals live as if them have immunity from the law. So them operate with impunity. Economic destruction and poverty, manipulation. The PMP failed economic policies have deliberately kept people in poverty so they can control them through hands-out and false promises. Anytime anybody tells us that them love you because you're poor, you run far from them. They do not want Jamaicans to be self-sufficient. They want them dependent on the crumbs they throw at them during election time. Let's give them a box with $5,000 on a red stripe beer because PMP no drink Heineken a Labourite beer. A Labourite drink. I saw them dumb. Illiterate. I'll leave in a mic. If you drink a Heineken in a jungle or a Jonestown, that can cost you your life. I saw people them illiterate. 5, them betrayal of the Jamaican morals and values. The party has abandoned the values that built Jamaica, selling out to foreign interests and pushing agendas that do not align with the cultural and moral fabric of the country. Their loyalty is not to Jamaican people, but to international handlers who dictate their policies and narrative. Like the George Soros, Gummy Bear tell the youth, them say, hey, widen out your body and take it like a woman. And we know that the rectum is not a sex organ. It's our excretion of waste product from the body. And we are said today, and we say it because we feel good. Lawrence Rowe, a brave Jamaican, exposing the truth. Lawrence Rowe courage must be applauded. Unlike the spineless individuals who sit in silence while the PMP criminal organization continues to reign of terror. Rowe has risked everything to reveal the truth. He's showing Jamaica what many have been afraid to admit. The PMP is a criminal empire, not a political party. The PMP is responsible for the murders and destruction that have crippled communities since 1972. Courtesy of Michael Manley, the worst Prime Minister, the worst person, the worst Englishman in charge of Jamaica. The PMP doesn't care about Jamaica's future, only about maintaining its power and protecting its criminal allies. This is not just one man speaking out. This is confirmation of what many of us have known for years. The PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization has become an organized crime syndicate funding, breeding killers who execute their dirty work. They do not represent the decent, hard-working people of Jamaica. Instead, they cater to criminals, dons and gang leaders who benefit from their corruption. Jamaicans must stand up and reject the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization criminality. The time has come for the Jamaican people to wake up. No longer can we pretend that the PMP is simply a political party with a different ideology. This is not about political preference. This is not subjective, this is objective. This is about choosing between good and evil, between law and lawlessness, between freedom and oppression. If the PMP were truly a party for the people, why do they defend criminals instead of victims? Them have Jamaican for Justice. Most of you don't know. Jamaican for Justice represent criminals. But guess what? On the labor right, on the PMP criminals, not labor right. Them oppose strong crime fighting measures. Them want criminal murderers to get 8 to 10 years of prison so them can come back and kill again. Them oppose strong crime fighting measures. Them dismantle the Suppression of Crime Act, where give police immense power, where you can get to take down criminals at will. Them dismantle that. And them see money pass it, you know, because them kill Michael Mann, the best friend. The man named Leo Henry, Modern Furniture, at across from my community where I was born and raised. So them allow their constituencies to remain violent ghettos while the leaders live in luxury uptown. The truth is clear. The PMP is the enemy of progress. It is an enemy of law and order. It is an enemy of the Jamaican people. It's time to find back. Jamaica needs patriots. Jamaica needs men and women who are willing to stand for truth, justice, and righteousness. We cannot allow the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization to continue destroying our country through its criminal ties and deadly alliances. Support leaders who stand for law and order. Expose the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization connections at every opportunity. Educate those who have been brainwashed by decades of lies. Never allow criminals to dictate Jamaica's future. Lawrence Rowe has done his part by stepping forward and reveal the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization sinister agenda. Now it's up to every patriotic Jamaican to stand and say enough. The PMP is not the future. The PMP is the enemy. And the time to fight back is now. Whether or not you want to believe it. I will applaud comrade. I will say ex-comrade. Yeah, because you know, so them now have nothing to do with me again. Lawrence Rowe. For standing up for Jamaica. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica, Young Police Channel, out.